Greetings and welcome to a Friday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is November 1st. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I am doing great. I gotta say, it's nice to have a first of the month recording. People say that this happens on some sort of frequency. It feels like forever.
It's been a while. Feels like it's been a while. First of the month recording. And this is a proper first of the month, November 1st. We're off and running. You have a good Halloween?
Yeah, it was good. It was great.
Good.
It was, the kiddo got a bunch of candy, ate a bunch of candy. Bedtime wasn't terrible, but I mean, she took down a ton of candy.
As is,
How about you?
Her God-given right on Halloween. I mean, that's the time you come out of your shoes, take a full swing at it. It was great. It was fine. It was good. I saw a clip, a social media cutout from a fellow podcaster, Scott Van Pelt, a fellow Maryland resident, lives generally around me, I think. I saw a cutout yesterday, and he was shouting about how kids don't say trick or treat anymore. So I got tuned into this, and he was very right. Like, they don't. These kids just waddle up to the door, look in your bucket, look for something good, take it, and leave. It was crazy. I was astounded at, we just, the sort of devolution of our society. They don't even say trick or treat anymore.
I was trying to get my daughter to say it. It's like they can't even say it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, some I think are more rude and others are just shy and not really being callous about it. But it was wild. Kids just come up and take what they want and peace out. So
I went with the no defense. I was just, whatever you want, you can have tonight. You want to eat all this candy, go ahead and eat all this candy. She started to slow down. We're getting to be like 7:38. We go up to this one house, and she gets a full-sized Airhead.
Oh man!
And she wants it. She wants
a bomb
the
in your stomach, just a total bomb. Just putting putty down in your sugar putty down in your stomach.
She wanted the full Airhead.
Oh my God.
I opened it up, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know. This might be the last one. This might be the. Sure enough, she gets about halfway through it. She's like, "I want to go home." The airhead knocked her out.
That's good. Love it. So happy Halloween to everybody. We got winner of the costumes contest. I'm calling it. I'm deciding.
Dictatorship.
Blair Thomas. I read through them all. Blair Thomas was the most creative one. He put the most effort, the most time, the most unique. He was the one who sent us the DLF costume, eggplant emoji, Aaron Rye's golf bag with the iron covers. He sent 4 or 5 legit options. I'm going with Blair Thomas. That doesn't mean the others weren't good. We read them on the air, or whatever you call this. I'm going with Blair. His email was the most effort and, made me, think twice, is what I would say. So you'll get $150 for the Pro Shop credit. Looks like he has a Grand Rapids area code. So it seems like we won't have a trouble shipping internationally. It's always terrible when we give someone a prize and then jam them. They have to accept pay postage for the UK or something like that. That sounds like a PGA Tour type giveaway. So Blair Thomas, congrats.
I wish I remember. I thought of one while I was trick-or-treating last night, but I can't remember it. It was like a moment in the golf year that we had forgotten about. I wish I could remember it. The thought came to me when we were on house 45,
Sure. There's no real golf going on. There's the Toto. I know you're locked into the Toto Japan Classic. Hana Wakamoto
that wishes it was in Africa.
Yalimi No is involved. Arya Jutanagarn also involved. So that's about it that's going on for golf. Where do you want to go next? You want to hit some news real quick? It's Friday whip around.
We could do news. I prepared some stuff.
Oh my God!
I got deep into the weeds the last few days. I've been in the spreadsheets doing my best data boy Data boy impersonation.
Do you want to do that first? Do you want to do news?
We could do that.
Your choice. Dealer's choice here.
So
what are you proposing?
I guess I think one of the most fascinating aspects of the PGA Tour, is you get to the highest level of the game of golf, and you get up there, and a lot of people realize I'm not that good, or you're up there and you're trying to win more majors if you're at the very top of the game and you're trying to figure out how can I improve this skill and to get better so that I win more majors or I'm more consistent. So I decided to dive in, and I don't have some master spreadsheet like a lot of people in golf do. The best way I learn is just by transposing stuff. So I looked at year to year strokes gain data, and I know strokes gain isn't the end all be all skill or determiner of skill, but I think when you look at it over a large sample size, it provides a pretty good picture of what's going on. So I looked at the last 2 years of strokes gain data for every player in the top 125 and each skill and then their total to kind of look at who went out and improved different aspects of their game, who got way worse at different things in their game, and it was pretty fascinating. Some interesting insights, and it might provide some people to look at for putting some futures on, buy some property on their islands for the near term.
Podcast,
I think you're going to be surprised by some of these. So anyways, let's start with 5 biggest fallers and risers in strokes gained. We'll start with the risers. EVR,
okay.
Biggest riser year to year in strokes gained total.
Okay.
Davis Thompson.
You're going 23 to 24 is the year.
Yeah.
Year to year.
Yeah. Okay. 22, 23 to 24.
Yep.
Davis Thompson, number 2. Number 3. We could dive really deep on this if we wanted, since for the people that missed it on Monday, people that were hoping for this. Nico Echevarria is number 3. Do you want to dive in, or do you want to talk about the Hail Mary?
The soul-crushing kick in the nuts to the Bears fan.
Nico Echevarria is number 3. Ben Silverman, number 4. Number 5, Mav McNeely.
Ben Silverman. How about that? Okay,
yeah,
Mav McNeely.
Ben Silverman.
I don't know.
And then I added a 6.
I
added a 6 for each of these because they're just interesting names at 6. Number 6 biggest gainer, Billy Horschel. And I think Billy, you have a what?
Billy did go as a West Ham player last night. Just interject with that, with the kit, socks up to the knees, the full kit as they call it. All right, so Billy's 6th.
Billy's 6th. Okay. I feel like a sports fan is like the dad cop out.
Yeah. There are 2 kids that just came up in JJ Watt jerseys, just sweatpants. It's get the hell out of here with this. It's too easy. All right, go ahead.
All right, biggest fallers. I did this pre-injury year to post-injury year. Will Zalatoris, almost 2 shots worse.
Okay.
Now, the crazy thing about Zalatoris, he still was a top 50 FedEx player, despite that. That's just how freaking good he was.
Before. Yeah.
He's a pretty much an average player now. And obviously, Zalatoris, the question becomes what is he going forward? Can he get back? Or has the back just kind of made him this middle of the road player?
Yeah, player you can't really rely on in a way.
And I think time will tell, right?
Yep.
I don't think I'm ready to put chips on either side. Next biggest faller, social media sensation Max Homa. Then
falling
Justin
from
Rose,
a pretty high place. Let's just
falling from a pretty high place. Yeah,
not a lot of places to go, but down when some of these guys very high up there. Okay,
Justin Rose.
Interesting. Okay.
There's some interesting like insights in terms of like how like stuff that mask. And I'll get into this after this. I'll just save that. Justin Rose, Ricky Fowler, Taylor Montgomery, who Taylor Montgomery might be the worst ball striker on tour. I was looking at the numbers. It's like he's like an incredible putter. He like can't hit the golf ball.
He went ham in like the first half of last year. I feel like first like 3-4 months or something. Wrap around into January. But okay, so he fell a lot.
Let me find these numbers for you. It's insane how bad he is at hitting the golf ball. Off the tee, negative 1.4 off the tee. Approaching the green, he's losing a half a shot approaching the green. He's losing 2 shots per round to the field on approach and off the tee play.
Not good.
Not good at all. Maybe worst ball striker on tour.
Where did he finish in like the FedEx and everything?
Let me see. I got it right here. 114 right now. So that's not set.
Kind of incredible that losing that much tee to green and you're still kind of hanging on 114.
He picked up a shot on the green. He picked up a shot putting.
Yeah.
Then Patrick Cantlay was 6.
Okay.
There was an overarching people that weren't as good as the year before. Jordan Spieth, Patrick Cantlay, Rory McIlroy.
Okay.
Just general being super involved. Like the only one that like kind of like marginally got better, Adam Scott, being involved in the PGA Tour deal was bad for your golf game. That's a general overriding.
Insight number 1. Yep. Okay.
There's this like this winning skews everything.
Yeah.
So would you say that Lucas Glover had a good year or a bad year compared to the year before?
Compared to the year before, bad.
From a statistical standpoint, he was basically the exact same player. He just didn't win 2 tournaments.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
he was a disaster the first half of last year, right? And then he made the putter switch or something. He just got super hot, and all of a sudden was like a fireball for a month.
A better player last year or this year.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I mean,
he was 77th in the FedEx Cup.
Better get on his
would
horse.
You say that how would you say about Cam Davis's year? Do you think it was a good year?
Yeah.
He won the Rocket Mortgage.
He was like around the top 50 in the world for most of the year, consistent. Couldn't make the P Cup, but he had a good year.
He was a disaster statistically compared to the year before. He was over a full shot worse.
Wow.
So it's like this, like if you don't win, people think you had a bad year, and Lucas Glover, who was better statistically. Cam Davis, everybody's like, oh, he had a good year. He was horrible. He was worse in every category.
Yeah. You play to win the game, as PJ's former coach said.
So just like interesting, it's like this is like winning masks basically everything. So if you go in, like I then kind of wanted to look at like individual categories. So that's just like overall people that got better or worse. Off the tee, Mav McNeely, largest gain off the tee. He picks up like 0.85 off the tee from one year to the next. Almost a full shot better off the tee. How did he do that? He picked up 5 yards, so he probably did some little speed sticks training, and picked up 5% in driving accuracy. Now, interesting thing, while he did this, and this is like something that I find, like, do other things, like if you really focus on one skill, do other things regress?
Fall off, yeah.
And putting is like kind of fickle. It's the most fickle skill, but he picked up almost a shot off the tee. He lost 0.7 putting. So like if you were going to look at someone that might jump next year, I think Mab McNeely is an interesting candidate because if he sustains, like, he became like this really plus player. I mean, if you remember, he was outside the top 125 last year. He moved up to 53rd in the FedEx Cup.
He had a good year. Yeah.
He had a really good year.
It was in Colorado, I believe, BMW. Yeah, he had a good year.
Largest declines in skill, largest decline off the tee, Taylor Montgomery, our guy. Just lost it.
Timo.
Also, right behind Timo, Max Homa and Patrick Cantlay. Cantlay was like was really bad last year. All like basically worse at everything.
In 24, this current like season that just ended. Okay.
I would say like I'd be worried if I was an Atlanta Drive fan. You know, your big name is
fascinated.
Approach play. Keith Mitchell, biggest gainer. Like always been known for being like awesome off the tee.
Yeah.
He was ultra elite approaching the green.
Okay.
So interesting kind of thing to look at. I don't know. I would be fascinated to know how Keith improved his approach play so much because it was almost a full shot better. He became like an ultra elite approach player. Biggest decline, Justin Rose. We could be buying the Justin Rose is washed.
The dip. You're not buying the dip. You're sell.
Could be selling Justin Rose at this
Ryder
point.
Cup year. You never know.
It is a Ryder Cup year.
Might be motivated to put on for his sponsors. Get that Ryder Cup spot, you know? He flashed at Troon. And that sort of masked, I think, what people probably think was, oh, Rose is still, you know, premier elite player. It's not to say he's not good anymore. But that Troon flash kind of masked something.
Around the green, Davis Thompson, number 1. Number 2, Colin Morikawa. So this is taking, like, Morikawa had a great year.
Great season.
Really good year.
Yep.
But he took one of the things that I would say is holding him back around the green play. Everybody remembers Kapalua. He became really good around the green. So that's one of the reasons I think he had such a good year. Biggest dip.
Around the green?
Star pupil.
Oh, no.
Victor Hovland. 0.6 of a shot worse. I mean, that's around the green. It's hard. It's hard to have like a huge fluctuation. He was 0.6 of a shot worse.
The monk, they need to go on a sort of seance at some point this off season where they need to go hike, get back in the, go to the Himalayas. The monk needs to reconfigure some things with this star pupil. He was just terrible. I mean, what if that was just a flash? He just found something and sort of, let's say, like,
it was a hot couple months,
like Oak Hill through FedEx Cup kind of thing,
through Ryder Cup, through the time, through him chipping in the first day off the first green, in the first match. That was the pinnacle, and everything from there, it was over.
He didn't have a good season.
It's possible. Like, that's the thing. It's like you always wonder with these things. You wonder with these things.
Yeah.
Like, what is their staying power, or is it like they found something for a little while? Like, the margins are small, but over time, like, they bear out. Like, that's I think the interesting thing from looking at it on these year basis is what I'd love to look at is like kind of more like rolling, but I just don't have. I'm not gonna build these.
We will maybe
plots.
Another time, but not.
We need
today.
a data boy.
We do
to build it.
Yeah.
What I think is PJ's reveling on a victory Friday.
What I think is interesting is PJ. What happened? You beat the Texans last night. I was totally consumed by
beat the Texans. Got a Devontae Adams game sealing touchdown. Garrett Wilson made the catch of the year. We might be back. We might be back.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Might be back.
Don't do that. Congrats to you on that. Don't want to talk too much football here, and especially
No,
I
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna bring it
Well,
up.
we could dive into Nico Echevarria right now.
We could. You know what I want to say? You see this viral clip this morning of Mike Tannenbaum, your former general manager?
I did.
Everyone on ESPN walking off the set. He proposed Myles Garrett for like 3 first-round picks, Jameer Gibbs, and everybody just walked off the stage. So, like, how is this guy a GM?
Yeah, that guy is the most successful general manager in Jets history. Like, not even really close, actually. So
3 first-round picks in Jameer Gibbs and a second-rounder for, like, Myles Garrett's incredible, but he's whatever 30 or something. He's older.
For a comparable situation, Mike Tannenbaum got 1 first-round pick for Darrelle Revis, who I would compare to Myles Garrett in terms of like Hall of Fame defensive player. So take that for whatever it's worth.
It just depends on what side of the table you're on. Mike Tannenbaum.
Just so we're not pure at football, we're also at golf. It makes me long for like Faldo, like the former. Like, think about these guys who just had a title. Like, he was obviously a great player, but Ryder Cup. I miss Faldo just muttering on TV. Zaner, I think we need to look at Zach Johnson. I think we need to look at him for a potential TV gig. He won multiple majors. He's qualified.
That was my Halloween costume that we messed up. Like, you could have gone in for the candy.
Don't serve me.
Missed the grab. Missed the grab of the candy, turned around and said, "Fuck off" to all the kids in the background. And just somebody's like, "Oh, do you have Tourette's?" And you're like, "No, I'm just Zach Johnson."
We need to get him a gig. Him and Mike Tannenbaum can just offer insights on their respective sports.
You could do Don't Sir Me. Last year was a good year for Zach Johnson.
Oh, it was an incredible year. You think, I'm going to go low profile, falling out, the disgrace of the Ryder Cup disaster. He was front page as much as ever. Good stuff.
All right, let's get to putting.
Yeah.
All right, biggest gainer. Do you know who the biggest gainer? Take a guess. Made a big putter change.
Who was
social media sensation?
Scotty.
No. Akshay Bhatia.
Akshay. Okay.
Akshay goes to the broom, picks up almost a full shot on the greens. Goes from categorically one of the worst putters on tour to a very good putter. He picked up 0.85 shots by the broom switch. Wow. Very interesting player when you look at like possibly next year being a breakout year. So Akshay becomes way better with the putter. And like, you think about like, this is where I kind of get some theories. Like he probably put a ton of energy into the putting and getting good with the broom. He actually got worse tee to green. He got worse off the tee, which he historically has been like a very good off the tee player. And he got worse with the irons. So like, if you kind of buy on that dip and he stays really good off the tee, like you could be looking at a top 15, top 20 player right there. So like, he's a very, very interesting statistical player, just buying that slight dip off the tee and approaching the green. If that goes back to a level that it was before, he's going to win a bunch of tournaments. Minwoo Lee was almost a full shot worse on the greens.
Ooh.
It's like he's making a recipe and he's just he's not finishing it right, or he's got the yips with the salt. He's over salting everything. So Minwoo was really bad on the greens last year. You look at why he wasn't very good. That's why. Okay. All right, here are just some overall observations. We'll make this kind of quick.
No, don't make it as long or short as you want.
We got to fill time.
No, we don't need to fill any time.
Tough scene for squares. We were tracking this early in the year. The septic tank. He was up a quarter shot off the tee. Got rid of the squares.
I'm not ready to attribute that to the shoe change. I won't go there. I'm not going to besmirch scares. Could have been anything. Could have got a couple lucky breaks off the tree, back into play. You never know what lies in the noise on that data. Not scares though. Go ahead.
I think there is like a elevated event. Like one of the biggest issues with strokes gained is elevated events, signature events. Like there needs to be like an adjustment because all the top players now play basically the same schedule. So like what you see sometimes, and like there's like a thing too is like certain players go up. They have great numbers one year. They go up to the elevated event and they come crashing down from a statistical standpoint. It's like, oh, they're just playing against better fields.
Yep.
So strokes gained data that like is being widely shared needs to have like some sort of guardrails, some adjustment for strength of field that they're playing in. And you know what? If they could figure out how to do this, this would be a great way to also dock down FedEx Cup points from event to event.
Weight them.
Yeah, yes. Because you should get 500 points for playing the John Deere and 500 points for playing, I don't know, the Genesis Scottish, which isn't an elevated event, but has like a dramatically stronger field than the John Deere. So that's just a general thought there. Jordan Spieth is just an alarming tale of seeking improvement and losing the fabric of who you are as a player.
What did he lose? His putter? What
He's lost everything.
Okay.
He was a great driver of the golf ball. Like when you think about Jordan Spieth and what made him special, what made him like a truly spectacular golfer was, other than off the tee, he was a like insanely great player the rest of the way in. Approach play, around the green, putting. He was without a doubt, after the tee shot, the greatest player in the world. Like you look at his stats and he's effectively become an average player after the tee shot, and he has rebuilt his swing. He has done all the work, and he's become great off the tee. He picked up a half a shot on the. He's like an elite off the tee player now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was very bad. Like the last 2 years, he's been. I would just say he's flat out average off the tee, flat out average around the green, and flat out average putting. So
he's hurt. He was hurt. He was hurt.
He's hurt for the last 2 years.
Maybe.
Is it being hurt affects his chipping, his putting? So he's become obsessed with being a great off the tee player. And I think like this is like this is the fear of doing drastic things to seek improvement and random, like this is the hard thing about golf is that everything's intertwined. Sometimes what makes you a great off the tee player might make you a lousy wedge player. Like being, I saw Nico Darris, a friend of the program, said like everybody wants to cruise at 190 driving the Lamborghini. Nobody wants to slow it down and drive 60 for wedge play, right?
Yeah.
And I think like that's like a great analogy. Like if you've got super speed, like if you're just like a speed demon off the tee, wedge play's always going to be hard, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes stuff you do to improve your wedge game might take away from that off the tee brilliance. With Spieth, to me, the story of his career is he became obsessed with chasing becoming an elite off the tee player, and he's lost like what made him a great player.
Maybe like he was already losing that before chasing the off the tee. I mean, how many lousy off the tee players are there at the top of the world ranked in modern golf right now? Is that a requisite? Do you see that and say, I must improve? Now, to your point, that pursuit can harm you in a lot of other areas. We'll see. Gets his wrist.
We'll see.
Maybe he comes back. He's not just another guy.
Maybe. I don't know. The stats don't paint a pretty picture.
A lot of work to do, it seems like.
Yeah. He's got to somehow go back to being an elite iron player. The around the green thing is like the crazy thing to me.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
He's just like average. He's just another guy around the green. There's two players that I'm like very bullish on that I did not expect to be at all.
Okay.
Bullish on.
Okay.
I think we need to redact the way we describe this player. The kitty cat.
Wow. Okay.
The kitty cat, Kurt Kitayama, also in college known as the Project.
Yeah.
He is just becoming an ultra elite tee to green player. He's not bashing it around. He might have been last year. I think that was a good categorization of him last year. But he gained over half a shot off the tee year to year, and a third of a shot approaching the green. So from off the tee and approach together, you combine those, almost a full shot from tee to the green. He was 73rd in the FedEx Cup, but he was like very, very high stratosphere of like when you combined off the tee and approach, which is usually a good bearer of consistency and success. So if you were gonna bet on somebody making Eastlake that was like way down the list last year, Kurt Kitayama. Another name in the same realm. I was shocked. Honestly, could not believe. Top 20, top 25 driver of the golf ball, top 10 iron player, and just like completely buried in the FedEx Cup. Who is this player?
Top 25,
91st or 93rd as we speak in the FedEx Cup. But he's a top 25 driver of the golf ball by strokes gained data. And a top 10 iron player.
That seems hard to do. To be that good and be 91st.
I almost fell out of my chair. I triple checked these numbers. I was like, these can't be real numbers.
Who is it? I want to cheat and look up FedEx Cup standings. Who is it?
Doug Gim.
Oh. Wow. Is that
like... And he just is like marginally bad putting and average around the green. I was appalled. Like he doesn't drive it far. He's really accurate. But he's accurate. He's moderately long. Like he's like average length. And then he was incredible with his irons last year. So if that sticks, like, there's no way he's finishing 91st with those stats.
Yeah, maybe someone to buy. Kitty Cat and Doug Gim. That is revealing. Those two popping off the page. Yeah. I mean, then go ahead.
Last kind of insight. Thing I'm buying. Thing that the data boys wouldn't buy. I absolutely buy strokes gained attitude. Our guy, Pepe Peter, he's not good at anything.
Well, he's a 4A guy. I mean,
but he finished 65th in the FedEx Cup. This is like statistically not a PGA Tour player.
Yeah. I mean, he's a self.
So I'm buying strokes gained attitude counts for something because of Pepe Peter.
I mean, he's been peppy his whole life, though. He came out of the womb and hey, it's always been that. Hey, he won the Valspar, for God's sake.
He was really bad last year. He was really bad the year before, but he kept his card.
Well, I mean, like, I'm listening to this whole thing. It's sort of the beauty of the beautiful game of golf. Like, how do we, Rory could have statistically one of the greatest seasons ever, and he doesn't win a major, and we're like, ugh. And
thing.
Lucas Glover could be complete trash, like can't hit the side of a barn or can't put it in the ocean for 6 months, changes putters, and wins like 2 times and contends in everything else for a month. And you're like, oh my God, he's a dominant player. He should be on the Ryder Cup and we should put him in Jupiter Links or whatever it is. And, you look at his statistical profile, it's the same as the year before. And so it's do you want to win a major? Or you want a top 10 in 20 straight events? It's interesting. And if you're Pepe Peter, I think you take your dub and keep slapping it around and being the 4A guy and get hot for a week. I don't know. That's the enchantment with Spieth, quite honestly, is because he's done it before. He might be complete chicken wire and duct tape, like you used to say, but we know he's done it before. Probably talk about strokes gained attitude. That guy talks himself out of more, rounds of 68 into 72 than anybody on tour, in my opinion. But it's hard to say that or assess it. He's got his way and it's worked for him. But yes, this is the enchantment with the beautiful game. So.
Well, I just love the idea of like like everybody's been there. It's like, oh, I'm terrible at putting. Like I need to work on my putting. And then all of a sudden you can't hit the broadside of the barn with your driver, It's like the frustrating aspect of the game because like you put energy into other aspects and you lose a little of the other parts. So that's why I wanted to do it. It was another just general thought. Matty Fitz is just very average at this point.
Tough year.
Tough for Northwestern fans.
We know his tracking his every shot. We know he knows his numbers.
That's when tracking every shot is not a good thing. Everybody loves tracking every shot when you're improving. It's got to been a tough couple of years for Matty Fitz. The last 2 have not been very good.
Maybe we should send him a Good Walk coffee subscription. Lift him up, maybe that's what he needs. A little extra boost in the morning. We could get him on the Good Walk, get him on the Shotgun Start blend or the fried egg blend. You can too. I got caught. I got caught between release patterns. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm holding up my Starbucks cup. I got caught. Halloween scramble. Didn't set the grinder in the coffee machine last night to program. So I got caught. It's terrible. Starbucks is gross. It's not good. I paid $6 or whatever I paid for it. Had to go to church this morning. My daughter was like an usher. So she's like really wanted, like, Dad, can you come to church? Like I have a role in it. I'm handing out programs. So I was like just scrambling this morning. I'll tell you what I did. I went to church. I showed that I was there to support her, got the program and walked right out the other side of the door. Did not stick around for services. Then went to Starbucks. But I got caught between release patterns. You can save money. You can save time if you subscribe. You subscribe at goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. You save 10% on every single shipment when you are a subscriber. When you use the code SGS or fried egg at checkout, you get 20% on your entire order the first time. But as a subscriber, you just get that. You say, hey, I want 2 bags every 3 weeks. I want 4 bags every month, whatever it is, or whatever interval you want. It's easy. You don't have to think about going to the store. You don't have to think about rushing off to Starbucks. You're stocked. You're ready. I give them out occasionally as a gift to a friend of the program, or if I'm looking to get political and want something of a quid pro quo nature, it's a good gift. But yes, go to, you stock up when you're a subscriber, goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. Proceeds go to support our work. Support what we do. It's a way to get something you like and use and support, get us out on the road for a lot of these events. All right. Should we move on to news, or do you want to do any other takeaways from your statistical
Nothing else.
analysis?
Nothing else.
I thought that was good. You're getting in the weeds on that. Kitty Cat and Doug Gim. Revelatory.
I wanted to make sure people knew this wasn't just a football podcast.
Sure. I think, to be fair, we talked a lot of serious golf stuff, and we will again. It's just, it's October and there's a Hail Mary. I think the way we talk about for an hour about Pinehurst, deep in the weeds after that ends. I don't think we're going to talk about football on Sunday night of the U.S. Open.
Listen, this is the Echevarria faithful that were coming out of the woodwork.
No, it wasn't. It was just a guy mad about the football talk.
They've been waiting months, years for us to have Nico Echevarria to have this moment on this podcast.
I mean, our hope is that we've built up enough trust with you guys in our golf discussions that we can occasionally veer off and have a little bit of silliness or football chat. Let's go to news. Cam Smith pissed.
You buying Jameis?
I mean, no. He threw 4 interceptions last week that were dropped, like right in the breadbasket. Just hit guys that were dropped. Like 2 that were literally my 4-year-old daughter would catch. 2 were 2. And then 2 others that were, maybe my 11-year-old son would get. I don't know. Yes. I'm not buying that yet.
I feel like it would be insanely hard to catch a professional NFL quarterback pass.
Yes.
Like the velocity of them.
It's like not insanely, but harder than these.
Yeah, like
Joes on their couch. Yes.
One of the more underrated hard things to do is just simply catch like a ball thrown over the middle by an NFL quarterback.
You're talking full speed quarterback throwing like let's say like a 20-yard crosser or something. Like, what are you cross? Yeah, no, you're not doing that. I'm not. No, I'm not. Yes, that prediction. Yes, you're right. That's a 1 in. I don't know. 1 in 10, 1 in 7, more.
I would love to like debunk like some sports like things that people think they could do. I guess this is like one of the things that makes golf like such a beautiful game is that like I could go on a par 3 and I could beat our guy Doug Gim, even with his big statistical jumps. I could beat him on a hole. I could beat him on a par 5. I could beat him, we saw Peyton Manning outplay Phil Mickelson for 9 holes. Like that is a real thing that we've seen. But like like you're not catching a ball thrown by an NFL quarterback. I don't think somebody could catch a major league pitch. It would move so much if they were the catcher.
No,
like they wouldn't be able to catch it. Like you just be getting pelted with balls.
I took my kids to the batting cages this summer, and there was a guy in like the fast one. I was like, oh, God, I have no chance. I barely had a chance on the kids ones. No chance. PJ,
you'd never score a point against an NBA player. Like one-on-one, you wouldn't. I don't think you'd be able to get a shot off.
This exactly is my favorite hypothetical that has, quite frankly, ruined my friend group. Is if you got 5 minutes with Harrison Barnes and you had to score on him, and he is trying all out, flat out, like full defense. All of my friends think they can score on Harrison Barnes.
No, I don't think you can. I think it's
get a
possible,
shot off.
I think you can throw like a hook shot from 30 feet.
That's their argument.
I honestly don't think you'd get a shot off.
No, I don't either.
Yeah,
like I think every shot would be blocked.
It's fair.
You're talking about like someone who's 6'8", who's got a 35 plus inch vertical and defends LeBron James. And you like, this is like what I think like people are completely irrational. I don't think like a starting good high school point guard would score a point.
Who's the best athlete you've ever, say it's third grade, you've ever like shared a field or court with?
This is, on post college, I played in a like a Tuesday, Thursday night basketball league in Chicago.
Yeah.
And we picked up this ringer. He was like basically like an Olympic level long jumper.
Okay.
His name is Nick Brown. He played his high school basketball team. He played with Dee Brown and Shannon Brown.
Okay.
But the rebounds that this guy would get were just
like
extraordinary. Like, I mean, like there'd be like a 6'8" guy jumping up. He was 6'5", but he would just he wouldn't touch him, and he was just going over the top of him, just like grabbing ball. You could throw alley-oops to him. He was unbelievable athlete, so fast, and like it was an amazing thing because if we were in a close game, he would athletically take over the game, where he would just crash the offensive boards and just get rebounds. Like he would get every defensive rebound. It was extraordinary to watch. Like athletically, he was faster than everybody. He could jump higher than everybody. And you're playing like, there were like college basketball players in that gym, like not high level college basketball players, but and he could just athletically, he was at a different level.
Love it. All right, let's get news.
But that's my point. Like he'd be a mediocre athlete in the NBA. He wouldn't score a point against Harrison Barnes.
Getting back to the original prompt, who's the biggest poof ball thrower in the NFL right now that you might have a chance? Is it like Gardner Minshew? Like who just has no zip on the ball?
Yeah, like
Minshew, maybe
Mason Rudolph. Like
I feel like he could rip it, break all your fingers in one fell swoop.
Well, the problem is unlike like Brady and Peyton and Breeze that like lost it when they were 40, Rodgers still throws the ball too hard is his problem. We don't have any like 40-year-olds that can't put any spin on it anymore.
That guy sucks. God, he's terrible. He needs to just go away. Aaron Rodgers.
Second half looked good last night. I don't know.
Can't believe he's running your franchise.
What do you think would be harder? Scoring a point in tennis against like Alcaraz, or getting a bucket against scoring one basket against, let's go with like Jrue Holiday. That would be if Jrue.
I mean, he's the defensive player of the year. You're not. You can't. And I still somehow think it might be Alcaraz because I don't even think I would be able to see the ball.
Yeah, I don't think
Alcaraz. You're just hoping for a double fault.
Yeah. You're hoping like the ball catches your racket and it just like somehow bounces to like a volley place that like he can't get to. I don't know. That seems impossible. Whereas Jrue Holiday, you like hit check and like before he's able to, he checks it back to you. You just like throw it really fast and somehow goes in. I think that's more likely.
I don't even know if I'd be able to get a dribble off against Jrue Holiday. I could not put the ball on the floor.
I've thought about this a lot. I would just, if Jrue Holiday, if I was like in a pickup gym and he was standing across from me and guarding me, I would just go to the corner and not ask for the ball. I would just resign myself to the corner.
The best one, because these are all like benign embarrassments. Like the hardest one is like tackling. Like, am I going to tackle Derrick Henry? That's truly like, no, I'm just going to lay down face first in the grass, and that's not going to happen.
Like you'd have to just go for the legs.
No, you don't do anything. No, you don't do anything. Reminds me of watching Maurice Claret in high school. It's like these like little white kids trying to tackle. No, you don't do anything. No, that's like That's physical harm as opposed to Alcaraz or Jrue Holiday. Just de-pantsing you. All right. Love this digression. Good chat. Good discussion.
The worst pickup basketball is, when you walk into, when you play and there's like a former wrestler on the other team and they line up like you say, like they're challenging, you got ball.
Yeah.
And they come up and they're going to guard you and they're all up on their toes. And you know that they're just going to grab you all game long.
Yep.
And it's just not going to be real defense. It's just like they're just going to just hack the shit out of you for 25 minutes, whether you have the ball or not.
Yep. That's not fun. What is fun, though? What is easy? That sounds painful. What is easy, though, is integrating Stripe into your business solutions. Stripe, we've used Stripe since day one. It powers 1% of global GDP. All sizes, our size, Hertz size. They've got all these different payment methods. They're not obscure ones. I don't understand these. I've never heard of these words. Zip, Twint, Kria, Oxo, Konbini, and PicPay. But the people who need business solutions are using these payment methods. Stripe doesn't stop your business from selling and growing them. They have 300,000 businesses, more than anyone else, whether it's subscriptions, we use them for Club TV, whether it's like a shop, whether it's billing, invoicing, anything. They help them grow with smarter recurring revenue management. Everybody needs to manage their revenue. And this is an easy way to set it up. They've done 80% of software companies either already charge or plan to charge based on usage. And Stripe Billing helps you keep this up to date with your software subscription billing. Go to stripe.com/billing to learn more, or stripe.com to learn more about their full suite of services. They've been a great partner of ours. We use it ourselves. This is not something that, hey, they sent you some free socks and now they're the best socks in the world. No, this is something we've used since day one. It's easy. Reduces stress, reduces headaches, and they're ready for you. Every Joe on the couch that couldn't catch a pass over the middle, or the elite athlete, the biggest businesses in the world use Stripe. News.
I got some news in. Breaking news.
Oh God, what is it?
It pertains to the AFC East.
Okay.
Ted Scott, caddy for Scotty Scheffler, is here with the Bills this weekend. Scott got to know the Bills through wide receiver Keon Coleman and their Opelousas, Louisiana connection.
Oh, okay.
Scott has been talking to McDermott and the Bills about mindset and is going to the game. All I'm going to say about this breaking news for the Bills fans, for PJ, a Jets fan, is this is bad news that it's Ted Scott and not the chaplain.
So the chaplain's going to the Jets locker room next week. They're getting the chaplain. What a weird, random connection there. Teddy Scott.
What a weird thing. I mean, I wonder who Bones is a caddy for, because Bones could turn around that locker room in a heartbeat.
News, Cam Smith is pissed. Valderrama, if you can believe it or not, was not good prep for Royal Troon. Believe it or not. So Live Guys said it was really two polar opposites of golf. He said it was really hot. The ball was going a long way up in altitude. And then you get to the links, it's cold, windy. Liv is well aware of it. The players aren't happy. Again, we saw this coming. Mandatory schedule. Not that the PGA Tour provides proper British Open or Open Championship conditions, but when you got to go play and you got to play the week before or proceed, that's your lead up. It's an issue, but the players have a little bit of power there, and they're sharing their insights, feedback. Other news, Adam Schupak reports in Golf Week that stipends are going up to $250,000 for the Ryder Cup. This is what the Peak Cup just got. No longer required to donate it to a charity of your choice. Apparently, It can just be a flat stipend for $250K. that
That's
happened.
why the
at
ticket
Peak Cup
prices went up.
and is now going to happen at the Ryder Cup next year, it looks like. I mean, like, come on. I know people think we're just here to be jerks, but I think a lot of these guys are good guys. These are good guys. They're still going to just donate it to a charity or a cause of their choice. I mean, unless Dylan Fratelli makes the Peak Cup. But yeah, I think they're still going to allocate it to a good place. The match that I guess someone somewhere asked for is happening November 21st, 22nd.
Hold on. The match that someone somewhere asked for is not only happening, but you're getting 2 days of it.
Judging by the pictures, it happened. I mean, they've got all these people together in pictures. It must have already been filmed. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, there's no way. The whole thing's the extravaganza, the live extravaganza, right?
Oh, it's live? Okay. So
I mean,
photo
what
shoot,
would it be if it wasn't a
Photoshop.
6-hour death march?
Bill Murray, Mark Wahlberg, Charles Barkley, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Phelps, Nate Bargatze, Ken Griffey Jr., and Blake Griffin. You talk about a mishmash of celebrities, athletes, and all sorts of people for this match. It's 2-man, 2-person, first day. Then it goes to singles the next day. Yeah, it's on TNT and Max streaming November 21st and 22nd. Part of the match branding. $1 million, I believe, to the winners. Do you care about the teams? Wahlberg and Phelps versus Griffin and Bargatze, Blake Griffin and Nate Bargatze. Barkley's with Junior, and Gretzky is with Bill Murray. I haven't seen enough Bill Murray golf for the last 20 years. I'm glad we're integrating him elsewhere now. Nothing against him personally. Other news, Yasser and Jay are together again, seems. Jay Monahan's attending this Future Investment Initiative conference held in Riyadh. This was reported by Bunkered, I believe, bunkered.com.
Bunker Boys.
And yeah, he's listening to Yasser and fellows talk about the Future Investment Initiative. And apparently they may play together in the Pro-Am on third in the Aramco, the Let Aramco event. So, yeah. That's it. Norman's over there as well. I don't know that they like at some point, like this doesn't matter anymore. Like I don't care that they played together at the Dunhill. Like I think we're overinflating that. Like, oh, deal might be done tomorrow. They're together. They're together in Saudi Arabia.
Hammer it out at
no,
at the Dunhill.
It's just like I'm not going to take any sort of great. It's fine. It's news in and of itself, but I don't think it means much more beyond that. Do we want to do any golf advice here? We're getting to minute.
I forgot about golf advice.
57.
I think we say no go.
Let's do one. We did a bunch of costumes. Let's go no go. Let's go to Monday. We'll go to Monday. Send SGS golf advice.
Golf advice Monday.
I mean, November and December are prime golf advice moments. I'm fired up for these last FedEx Fall events. Legitimately excited. Like there's stakes.
Sea Island even?
Well, no, I mean, the events and courses stink, but that there's stakes and it's like clear what needs to happen and who needs to do what to get into the top 60, top 125. I think it's kind of interesting. And it's a 3-week hustle through Mexico, Butterfield, and RSM. But yeah, I'm kind of interested. But nevertheless, that's not going to carry us. Send us your golf advice. We have a long list, but we'll keep it humming. It's going to be a next year thing too as well. So sgsgolfadvice@gmail.com. We will talk to you on Monday. Everyone enjoy your weekends. Enjoy the first of the month.